filming. Oh, we're like... Okay, now... Okay, I got my camera fixed. And so this one, I believe, is like the 6th video on the DIR number 3. In this one, I just wanted to talk a bit about the characters. I actually recorded the video and then forgot to press record. But I just want to talk about the 3 main characters of Phantom of the Opera. Starting with Christine. Christine's character, to me, was sort of underdeveloped, especially throughout the first few chapters of the book, only because the readers met her as sort of the audience of the opera met her when she was coming into stardom, when she had to give the surprise performance in place of Carlotta. And it wasn't really her fault in terms of her character, but her personality was just very gullible to me, especially because she wholeheartedly sort of believes this tale of the angel of music, and that, you know, whoever the voice comes to, you're sort of blessed musically. And the way she sort of just takes to Eric was just sort of just a little too quick, in my opinion. Like, she sort of fell into that. I get that she was sort of grieving the death of her father and she's grown up listening to this tale, but I just couldn't help but think she was very childlike, just a bit. But I think that's sort of the appeal of her character, sort of this very pure, very innocent character, to where she still believes sort of the tales from her childhood. And I think as the female protagonist, she's sort of, you know, she should be the focus, but to me she's not really, because just because in the dynamic of her and Eric, her being just a singer down the opera and Eric being a viscount, there's sort of this social hierarchy and difference, and it sort of reminds me of like a Cinderella story or something, where Prince Charming and Cinderella, who's not royalty, sort of meet or fall in love. But yeah, Christine's character, she you know, she teeter-totters a lot between the two male protagonists, Eric and Raoul. She loves Raoul, but she stays with Eric to appease him and to sort of, because even as she's seen his face, she's seen what he's capable of, sort of his ingenuity with music, with inventions, with illusions. And she in the beginning, especially before she says where she sees his face, when she only met him as the voice, like the first 3 months when he trains her just as the voice, she sort of speaks about him in sort of this reverent tone, because to her, he is the angel of music. He is the saint of music, you know, the Apollo. And so it's sort of ruined her sort of innocent, beautiful take on the world, I guess, when she describes the appearance of the Phantom, just the way she says it. She describes them as, quote, hideousness incarnate, and but she kind of sort of manipulates, I mean, they all sort of manipulate each other, but she kind of sort of manipulates Eric when she says, no, turn towards me. Whenever I see you, I will only see your genius, you know. And she is intrinsically good, or she sees the good in the other characters, because she still goes back and visits Eric. And I think she's a good character. Just not, in my opinion, not the most likable. Speaking of not likable, Raoul, Viscount Raoul. His character was very obsessive. He often, his infatuation with Christine was very free flowing at first. You know, they met as children, they re-encountered each other in their youth, and he went to her brilliant performance and sort of saw her from a new perspective, basically. And I don't know, his character also seesaws a lot between love and obsession, which is one of the things I was talking about. But because Christine would not tell him the specifics of why she refuses to recognize him in her dressing room, why she's rejecting his affections, he sort of goes on tangents. He often twists the narrative a little. Oh, she must be seeing somebody, she must be lying, she must be manipulating me. And he follows her to the carriage to see who she's keeping as company, who the other man in her life is. And I just thought him a bit bratty throughout the book, especially because he was often very, very dramatic. He cried a lot. He cried like 3 times within the span of like 5 chapters, I think. That's probably not very accurate, but his love for Christine is strong. Near the end, when they're in he and the Persian are in the torture chamber, he says to Christine, like, "I'm willing to do anything for you, for our love, and if it means killing Eric, he would do it. He was ready. He had that pistol in hand." And most people would think that was romantic. And I guess he's sort of the archetype for, you know, a heroic character, to where he rushes head in to defeat the villain to save the girl. And I see it. I see the very fairy tale dynamic. But moving on to the Phantom, Eric, the voice, angel of music, master of the traps. Does he have any other names? I'm sure he does. I'm sure I missed one. He's my favorite character. And he actually wasn't. I didn't actually have a favorite character until the very ending, to when he chooses to let Christine go because she chose him in return. And when she cried with him, he decided that was good enough for him. You know, that was, he accepted her for who she was, and the decision she made, that even though she chose to marry him, she does not truly love him. Her heart resides with Raoul. And though he did a lot of bad things leading up to this point, he's not he did not do good things. I think his character is the most in-depth, it's the most detailed, he has the most background. Truly, based on his appearance, sort of this pitiful background character, between him and Christine, it's very Beauty and the Beast tale. Since there was like this parallel with Raoul and Christine, which is like Cinderella. But Christine is the first woman that accepts Eric for who he is, for his appearance, even though she's initially horrified by his appearance. But she still chooses to go back to visit him, you know, unprompted. And she does learn from Eric. And even though she doesn't love him, she still looks towards him as sort of this guiding figure. And I just like the sort of development he takes towards the ending, to where he lets Christine go. He sort of lets her get away, you know. It's very sad to me that in the ending, when he died, or his body is discovered, and the gold ring on his finger, which was evident of which was the one that she gave Christine, that was really nice. That was a really nice sort of wrapped up detail ending to it. And so yeah, you know, maybe I'm just have a thing for sympathizing with villains, or villains with tragic backgrounds, because truly he reminds me of the creature from Frankenstein, and with obvious similarities, you know, with their appearance, with how they are isolated and mistreated, but also for their eloquence, you know, for the actions they've taken, even though the creature kind of went off the rails. But yeah, I can definitely see parallels between Frankenstein and the Phantom of the Opera, even though that's sort of not what this video is about. But very quickly, if we're doing parallels between Frankenstein, Elizabeth is definitely Christine, sort of this pinnacle of goodness, the pure female character. And if you squint, maybe you can say that Victor is like Raoul, sort of this justice, male lead character. But that's all the bit that I had sort of around the characters. Next video, I think it's going to be mostly just commentary about the book in general, or analysis. But I'll see you in the next video. Bye.